on, guys? It's your girl Crystal Dior coming through. You already know, the Black Vegan Raw. So I'm coming through today with another Zodiac sign. So we are going to do the sign of Scorpio, the Zodiac date experiences. So thank you first for tuning in. It is much appreciated. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel, like and share this video, okay? So let's talk about these Scorpios, okay? Sipping on my tea. Side note real quick, this is herbal tea. I am a holistic shop owner, so my website is down below. It's www.rootsoflife123.com, where you can find your crowns, your earrings, your pendants and rings and stuff, as well as herbal supplements, okay? Side note real quick. So let's get to it. So Scorpio. Dating a Scorpio man through the eyes of a Cancer, right? So how can you tell that this person is a Scorpio? Scorpios have like this mysterious and sexiness to them. If I could give Scorpio a color, it would be the color black, okay? Very sleek and sexy and mysterious, and just like a subtle cockiness, confidence. Like, they don't really gotta say much. Their presence just usually speak for themselves. So when you see a Scorpio man, you know, sometimes you could just get, I guess obsessed isn't the word, right? But you can just get drawn in. They like are a magnet. It's like they pull you into them for being so mysterious, and it's like, give me more. I just want to see more, know more. Like, that's the type of guy a Scorpio man would be. Now, if that's the type, like, if you see him from across the room, you might see that. Or like if you in school or whatever, like, they're really domineering. Like, it's just like a that's what I at least get from Scorpios. But with Scorpios, like, you could definitely look at their mysteriousness like as something that draws you in. So to date a Scorpio man, right? This man, just like how he looked, that's how he is. Scorpios are fixed signs, right? So with any fixed sign, they're not going to change. So Scorpio is fixed water. So because he's already a water sign, right? He's very emotional. He's very in tune with his self, his spirit. So with water signs, rule of thumb is water signs are very emotional and very in tune. I'm not saying no other signs are, but I'm just speaking for water because I'm water and I've been with water. Water signs are very in tune. It's just don't lie, because they're gonna know what you're doing, period. Okay? But like, they are a very fixed and stubborn sign. So with Scorpio men, it's basically, some of them can have a my way or highway type of vibe, but they don't really like change because they're fixed signs. So when you introduce change to them, it's not really taken with compromise. Like, it's not really taken. So when you introduce change to them, they're the type of guys that like to lead. So Scorpios are very masculine. So out of the water signs, a Scorpio man is very masculine, where a Pisces man may be very feminine. So Scorpio men is very masculine men, okay? They like to be the man, and you have to give them the respect as a man, okay? So when it comes to their image, they are all about image. With Scorpio men, they are all about image. They do care how others see them. They definitely do care how others see them. And one thing is, if it's going to attack his manhood or his being, yeah, they're not gonna rock with that too easily. So like, if you with your Scorpio man, let's just say, you know, you're having trouble with your finances and you need a couple extra dollars or whatever the case may be, and you have to ask other people. If you feel like you can't ask your man and you have to ask other people, oh, usually, because it is two types of Scorpio men, usually that's not going to fly with them. They do not like to look like they cannot provide for them and theirs, okay? Like, do not do that. Like, if with a Scorpio man, they are the provider, okay? They're a manly man, they're a provider. The elevated Scorpio men are about their business. They're about the work ethic. They're about like having a good time. But with Scorpios is because he is a water sign and he is very in tune with himself, and he has such a dark energy within, hidden from the world, that only him and his thoughts know about, that you will never know because they're so secretive. They're not going to tell you nothing. They're going to be like, you ain't going to know. You ain't going to know unless I decide to open my mouth. But maybe if that ever happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're really intense, deep to the core. They have a dark side, deep to the core. Everybody have a dark side, but they really have a dark side. Like, they live in their mind. You know how like a Pisces would escape, or excuse me, how a Pisces always live in their mind to create their illusion. Scorpios live in their mind just to live in their mind. It's like they go through the dark and the light, the good and the bad. I would say Scorpio is the sign of duality. The good and the light, the dark and the bad. You know, like, that's like, it's so hard to figure out a Scorpio, so don't ever try to. You're not going to ever be able to try to figure them out. Although this sign is a fixed sign, and if you pay attention enough, you would be able to identify this person. You would be able to read him if you pay attention enough. You just have to pay attention, because with this fixed sign, because he's not going to change, he's going to lay all his cards on the table. But it's going to be up to you to see what them cards are, because he's not going to verbalize it. They don't really verbalize it. Like, so if you're in a relationship with them, right? How can I put this? Like, they will say what they got to say, but remember, Scorpios is the secret side. They ain't going to tell you everything. They're going to say what needs to be said. But sometimes they don't have no filter, so they'll say what they need to say, and they'll cut you with their claw, okay? Sometimes they'll say some things out their mouth, and you be like, damn, that's how you feel? Yup. It look right at you. Like, they ruthless. Like, out of the water signs, the Scorpios can be very ruthless. Like, the Scorpio men can be very ruthless, like, with their tongue. Like, all the water signs can be ruthless with their tongue. I know they say Cancers can be very ruthless with their tongue. I'm not disagreeing, but Scorpio men, whoo, child, you be like, but let's just start reading some good. So some good qualities. I did write some stuff down because I didn't want to miss anything. So some good qualities with the Scorpio man is that they're fearless. So they are very fearless. They could have a go-getting attitude. Like, they literally want to be successful. Like, I just want to be successful. And that goes for the evolved and the unevolved Scorpios. And I say that because I know evolved Scorpio men and unevolved Scorpio men. And one thing they kind of have in common is to get to the dollar. They know how to get to the dollar. So even if it's not successful, like climbing the ladder, the business ladder, and being like CEO or whatever the case may be, whatever their ideal of success is, that's what they go to try to achieve. So they can be very determined when it comes to like meeting goals and being successful. They can be very charming and light up the room. Like, they're very calm and mysterious, collected and sexy. It's like an intensity when you see a Scorpio man, you know. And usually they be looking good. They be fine though. Like, you be like, sheesh, hi mister, what's up? But like I said, they're just intense. Like, and it's a good intensity or a bad intensity. But whatever emotion they put behind their intensity is intense, okay? And like I said, they are hard workers, so they're very ambitious. So they go for it. They just go for it. And as far as the evolved Scorpio and then the unevolved Scorpio, that's just with anybody or any other sign. So the unevolved, of course, the unevolved play games, cheaters. They don't they lie. They value honesty, but they lie. They cheat, they're deceitful. They like to play mind games and like to keep you on a string. They could have a whole relationship and still drag you along, but just for attention basis purposes only. Like they don't really have set goals or whatever. They have goals, but they don't do much to achieve them. You know, and things like that. And where the evolved Scorpio is, even though they might have a bit of a, you know, slight jealousy, or, you know, they might have like, you know, slight issues. They want more out of life. They want to commit. You know, they not going to start no unnecessary drama or issues. Like, they want to be a provider. They want marriage. They want a family. Like, they want more out of life than an unevolved Scorpio, who did just want to be a player and play games. Now, as far as like some of the bad qualities with Scorpios is, I'll say personally for me, one of the bad qualities about a Scorpio is slow to commit. So with Scorpio men, it's hard to catch a Scorpio. You know how they say it's hard to catch air? It's hard to catch a Scorpio. It's so hard for a Scorpio man to be in a full committed relationship. When they say relationship, not talking to somebody or not sleeping with them. Relationship. Okay? It's so hard for a Scorpio man to get in a relationship, please. And like, if you do get into a Scorpio relationship, if you do get into a relationship with a Scorpio, and let's just say your relationship came within a month or two, that's an unevolved Scorpio, okay? That's someone that probably say, oh, let's get in a relationship, want marriage, and then will go ghost on you day before the wedding, okay? So be careful for that, because usually it's so hard for a Scorpio to commit. It is so hard for them to commit. It takes forever for a Scorpio to commit. You could be dating for months and they still won't commit to you, because they just want to make sure that you are the one for them. With Scorpio men, they just want to be positive. They want to make sure that you are the one for them, that you fit into their life, that they can see a future with you, that they can see long term with you. And then to make it worse, with the Scorpio that do commit, so when a Scorpio do commit, and let's just say some things happen in y'all relationship that may have took place, cheating, lies, a lot of stuff that end the relationship, it's hard for them to leave. Once they commit, it's hard for them to leave. They rarely, okay, from my experiences, they rarely will be the ones that break up with you first. Even if they're not really feeling it. Like, even if the relationship is starting to get a little boring to them, and they like, all right, well, I think I need something new. So they might mention it like, oh, well, you know, I kind of want to be single. But all right, well, you go do your thing. Be single. Do what you gotta do. Well, I don't really want to leave. Like, I don't want you to go. Like, it's like a back and forth. It's like it's hard for them to commit, but once they commit, they don't want to leave, regardless of what's going on. They're probably cheating everything and still won't want to leave, just to have that connection. So that could be a bad trait. They also could be a bit egotistical, like, because they so debonair and fly and mysterious. They have a big head. They could believe that everybody wants them, so that's the reason why they move the way they move. And they can just basically have that egotistical aspect of them, and it can be a bit much. It could, you know, sometimes ego could be sexy or not sexy. It just really depends on the person. But because they feel like they can get whoever they want, whatever they want, whenever they want, they have an ego that can be very big, okay? But within that ego, they also have insecurities. So some Scorpio men can be very insecure. So although they might have women chasing them, and they might be so grand in the grand scheme of things, they could have some insecurities. Even the most handsomest man ever can be the biggest insecure man ever, you know. They might just have like I said, they live in their mind, they live in their dark place in their mind, you know. So they might be facing their own demons and battles that you know nothing about, because on the outside you would never know. Like, to the world, outside world, they make it seem like their life is so great, everything is put together, but on the grand scheme of things, internally they're screaming. Internally they facing their own trouble, their own fights, you know. Internally they are at war internally, you know. So with that being said, it's just like, unfortunately, like, even though they could be egotistical, they could be insecure. They have a know-it-all attitude at times, so they love to be right. Even when they're wrong, they love to be right. So they could have a know-it-all attitude at times. Like I said, they could be a bit dark. And they could hide it well. So with that being said, because Scorpios are hush-hush, quiet, secretive, dark, they could hide a lot of things. So although they want honesty in their partner because it helps them understand their partner better, they will... Is it a white lie if you hide in it? What would you call it? They will hide all aspects of themselves. So in a sense, you might have to be a detective if you're dating a Scorpio, because it's going to be a lot of things that you won't know about your partner. And when they come to the light, you will be surprised. Okay? They can be a bit stubborn, like I said, like they're the know-it-all, so they love being right, and because they are a fixed sign, it's kind of hard for them to change. So it's like the my way or the highway type time. So it could kind of be, they could be stubborn in that aspect of things. They can also be very jealous. So like I said, with some of the uninvolved ones, they don't care, they'll show their jealousy. But with the involved ones, they might hide their jealousy. But Scorpio men don't really like their women talking to other men. They don't like to feel like they're competing for their lover's attention in no way, shape, or form. So that could be an issue in dating a Scorpio. They can become stalkers too. Scorpios can become stalkers. Like, I'll tell you about that story in a second. But they could be stalkers. Like, if y'all break up, like, they can pick up a stalking habit and stalk you if you start to ignore them and block them or whatever. And like, they want to see you, they can stalk you. Yep. That's not funny. But so they could be, like I said, because they they are insecure, they can have some trust issues as well. They can be very manipulative and cheat as well. So they could be a manipulator and they could cheat on their partner as well. And they could be very selfish. So even though this sign could be very giving, they could be very selfish. So Scorpio men, like I said, they're all about image. So when they're trying to court a woman of their interests, right, they don't want you to think anything negative about them. They'll put on a whole facade and just be like, don't worry, sweetheart, I got you. They'll pay for the date. They'll take you on dates. They'll listen. They'll be attentive, wine and dine you and everything. You'll be like, damn, who is this person? And then you be like, I don't even know if I really know my Scorpio. I mean, he is so good to me. He treat me good. He a provider. And then he show you his dark side. You be like, oh. Sorry, y'all. And like, you be like, is there anything else I need to see? It's like, really, when you dating a Scorpio, that onion theory is the Scorpio. Every time you with the Scorpio, you peel back a new layer and a new layer. And on a side note, let's get into the sexual activity. So if you dating a Scorpio man, be ready to be pleased, okay? Because let me just sing real quick. I met a Scorpio. Damn. He had no limit to where he'd go. Oh yeah. And he was so damn sexual. That's Tyree's signs of love making. And that is so true, okay? First of all, a Scorpio will have you exploring your sexuality a little different, okay? You'll be like, what you into? Let's play. For real, like, you'll be like, oh, hey. Well, it just depends what type of person you are. But a Scorpio, they freaks. They freaky. Side note, if you watching this and you want to know, water signs are freaky. I'll say water signs and fire signs, okay? Like, I don't really, okay. Scorpio. Water signs and fire signs. But Scorpios are freaks, yo. They're freaks. They would do a lot to you. That part. But anyway, so let me talk about my experiences with Scorpios. Okay. So as a Cancer, my experiences with Scorpio. So my long-term relationship was with a Scorpio male. I was with him for 8 years. And my father is a Scorpio, and one of my close uncles is a Scorpio. And as far as like with the Scorpio male, right, at least with my experience with the Scorpio male, I'll say that one of the biggest issues is them fully committing long term, like as far as like marriage and more. I would say that because technically when I was with my relationship, we were young, we was college sweethearts. So at the end of the day, like, we were young. As I look at it now, I understand why it didn't work. But me personally, like, I actually like the bond that a Cancer and a Scorpio have really better than any other sign. Cancers and Scorpios know each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, with a Cancer woman, usually a Cancer woman like to be with a masculine man. We just like masculinity more so than the feminine nature, you know what I'm saying? We like masculinity, we like a manly man, you know. So as far as that, the Scorpio have like this the Scorpio have the intensity that a Cancer likes, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Cancers and Scorpios are very compatible. Like, I'm not saying that the relationship that I had with my ex was like picture perfect, because it definitely wasn't. Like, we definitely had our own issues. Like, you know, he would be fly with his tongue. His tongue was crazy. Crazy, but you know, my tongue is crazy too. So we would be fly with like our words. We wouldn't really argue though. That's why I would say like my serious relationships was with water signs. So between a Pisces, Cancer, and a Scorpio. But the Scorpio was the longest relationship. Next was the Cancer, then the Pisces. Like, so if I compare the Pisces and the Scorpio together, as far as like argumentative and things like that, Pisces is beyond argumentative, whereas Scorpios is really not. They don't really like to argue. They don't look. As long as we could resolve the issue, that's the thing. But like they don't really, even though they could be dark and intense, they don't really go above and beyond. But they can have anger issues, and they can have anger problems, or they could have unresolved issues because they keep everything in that blow out or blow up to the outside world. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, so Scorpios are all about image. They don't want anybody to show, they don't really want anybody to see them in a negative light, you know. So if they're taking care of home or want to be the provider, allow them to be the provider. Let them do what they gotta do to take care of you and the home, you know. And they just, like, as far as the men that I knew or that's in my life currently still, that Scorpio men, like, I don't know any of them to be married. You know, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know any of them to be married, or if they were married, to be in a fully faithful, committed relationship that didn't end in divorce. A lot of Scorpio men tend to have regrets, especially when it comes to women, because a lot of them do play the field, and they might have had one or two solid relationships that was like absolutely great for them, but because they were in their lower vibrations and just wanted to play the field and do them and play the game and not really care about love at that moment, it kind of put them in a regretful state of mind with a particular woman or person that they was dealing with. So they could hold a lot of resentment and regrets, and they could feel as though that they are their own worst enemy at times. They can be very secretive, but they can also give you great advice. So like, it's always good to, if you can befriend a Scorpio male, because they don't really have a lot of women friends. Like, they value friendships, but they don't really have like a lot of, okay, if you could be a friend of a Scorpio male, then they could give you some gems as well. They could be honest, so you need that type of honesty. You need that type of person that give you honest gems or whatever. But that's my take on Scorpio men. As far as my compatibility, as far as Cancers and Scorpio compatibility, I would say a 4 from 1 to 5. I would say the compatibility level, I would grade it as a 4, just because out of the water, I believe the Cancer and the Scorpio will be the best fit out of all the water signs, just because cardinal and fixed could go together well. Like, the cardinal needs fixed really, and they can complement each other's differences. You know what I'm saying? I see the only issue really would be is because they both want to be alphas. So that can be an issue because they could both want to be alphas. And then sometimes with Cancers, like us Cancer women, we can be submissive, but not all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like they probably will want more of a submissive mate, somebody that's going to say yes and do this, because they can be a bit routine and boring. They can just be a bit routine and boring just because they are a fixed sign, so they're on a fixed schedule. It's just like this. So you could be predictable and a bit boring. Whereas though a Cancer woman like to be, even though they say like Cancers like to be homebodies and things like that, Cancers also like to have excitement in their world and unpredictability. So even though you might want like a solid home life, you still want to have adventure and thrill. So that's where it can be an issue, because one person might want to explore more and travel more and do more things, where the other person might just want to really be a homebody and chill and just stick to their routine. So that could be an issue too. I feel like if you was to get an evolved Scorpio, then that would definitely be better as far as building a relationship with than an unevolved Scorpio. Any unevolved party, that's a 1 as far as the rating goes, just because they ain't gonna ever be what you need them to be. They need to seek guidance and heal within themselves before they even date anybody. But that's what I'm picking up so far. That's my review for this Scorpio video, guys. So if this resonated, or if you are a Scorpio man, or if you are dating a Scorpio, wanted to know more about Scorpio, or if you even have more to drop about this knowledge, okay, comment below, and please make sure you subscribe today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, it's your girl Crystal. Peace.